Hello and welcome to a new series. I'm World Undone. Thanks so much for joining me. So, a little bit about this game. First off, the menu music is amazing. I wish it had a little more granularity in the audio. The audio options are literally on and off. But I've done some fiddling behind the scenes. I think my voice should be able to cut through the audio pretty well. Now, the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Before I get started with this game, I want to let everyone know that I have never even opened up this game before. I don't know really anything. Well, I know one thing about it. The one thing I know is that it's got a character with the dumbest name that I've ever heard before in my entire life, but we'll get into that later. But I have played Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney before. I've played the first game many times. I had it on my DS when I was a kid. I'm not playing this on the DS. This is PC. And I can already tell just from fiddling around with the menus that this was originally a DS game. But that's fine. But I had Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, the first game, on my DS, and I played it over and over again. I loved that game. I was a really big fan of it. Then I played the second one. I didn't like the second one quite as much. It had its moments. So a big part of the games, right? What makes the game good or bad is like the prosecutor. The prosecutor in Ace Attorney was Miles Edgeworth. Now, if you know who Miles Edgeworth is, I don't really have to say too much else. Miles Edgeworth is amazing. And then in the last trial, they had this Von Karma guy who I kind of hated. But it's fun to hate him because you get to, spoiler alert, knock him down a peg. So the second game had, I think, Von Karma's daughter. And I just didn't like her all that much. The third game had Godot as a prosecutor. Now, I loved Godot. I think I only played that game once as well, though. I guess I just had other options by that point. You know how it is. When you only have, like, a few games, you play one over and over again. But when you have a bunch of games, suddenly you're not replaying the same games over again. Either way, I really like 3. Godot was great, and there was a lot of stuff in 3 that was really kind of cool. And I even played Apollo Justice, I think was the name. God, what a game. It wasn't a bad game. It wasn't particularly memorable. I remember Phoenix Wright was older and a lot cooler, but it wasn't particularly memorable, and I played that, I'm pretty sure, when it got released in the US. So, that was the last Ace Attorney game I played. So, I'm coming into this basically blind. I don't really know anything much about it. I know that the Chronicles, apparently, I did take a look through. Apparently it's split up into 2 games. I may take a break in between games. I may even take a break in between trials, picking up a new game and playing something else. I'm not sure exactly how long these episodes are going to be yet. We'll play it by ear. So, what else is there to say? I love the Ace Attorney series. I'm excited to start something new because, according to all the reviews, this game is better than its predecessors in pretty much every way. So I'm really looking forward to it. And I hear it's a Victorian era game. I have no problems with that. Taking place in London, maybe? So we all know the jokes about the Ace Attorney games taking place in Japan, but then with the English localization, it's like, oh, well, why don't we just have them set in Los Angeles? And yet, everything is very clearly Japanese. So, on that note, some people may disagree with this decision, but there is some voice acting. I don't know how extensive the voice acting is, because again, I'm going into this blind. I am playing with the original Japanese audio for the voice acting. Now, some people may not like that, but I always try to play with the original audio when I'm playing a game, especially from Japan, but regardless, I don't like the dubs as much. I respect and appreciate English voice actors very much. English voice acting in anime and other Japanese products has gotten so much better over the years. And there are a lot of specific voice actors that I really like. But I'll always go with the original dub when I have the choice. And I'll often play with both. If I'm watching an anime series, I'll often watch the English dub and the Japanese dub. And kind of compare and contrast, because it's some of the characters, man. Like, the dub completely changes them, you know? I played the Danganronpa games. I didn't play them on stream, but there's a character, Nagito Komaeda. His Japanese dub is a completely different character than his English dub. It's insane. And a much better character, in my humble opinion. So dubbing really matters. Point is, I'm going to be playing with the original Japanese dub. So that's enough preamble. It's about time to get started with the actual game. So we're going to select our adventure. Please and thank you. And we've got... Yeah, fortunately, it makes it very easy to figure out which is which. There's a big 2 here, but we're going to go with the Great Ace Attorney Adventures. Start a new game, and let's see what happens. Okay, it doesn't take place in Britain. I think that's our boy. Bienvenue à la Carnival. Man, I thought after my Disco Elysium playthrough I was gonna get away from all the French, but I guess not. Not so lucky. Alright, so I'm not going to let that sound effect ring through, but that is such a cool sound effect. God, I love it. Okay, so what are our controls? We've got T for history, F for autoplay, and G for options. I think we can probably click through this. Yes, excellent. Okay. I still can't believe it. I still can't believe this is happening. Alright, time to go into those options, which I've already gone into, but we've got to... No. Wait time. Is this what it is? Adjust the length of time until the next line of dialogue is displayed in autoplay and story mode. No, that's not it. Okay, there's text skip. We'll try to figure out if there's a way to go through the text faster in-game. Okay, so can't believe this is happening. No, okay. This is way too slow. Alright, everyone, hang on. I'm gonna pause. No, I'm not gonna pause the game. I just gotta figure this out. PC config, no. Key config, no. I also put the text box transparency up. I like the art. I want to see it a little bit more. So, wait time. How do I make the text go faster? Okay, it's key config. It's gotta be. Okay, well, we'll figure it out. How can it be that just beyond the doors to this quiet little chamber is the highest court in Japan waiting to decide my fate? Oof. Alright, I'm not a huge fan of the 3D models, but I understand. Everyone's gotta, move on. I like the 2D art of the original games. I'll get used to it. What? Oh, no, nothing. Save your glares, murderer. Sorry. My name is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Alright, a much better name than the name that's going to be coming up later. God, I'm cringing even thinking about it. Anyway. I'm a second-year student at the Imperial Yume University. 3 days ago, I somehow found myself in the middle of a horrifying incident. And now, here I am, awaiting my trial. That's enough! He's not obliged to listen to such abuse, officer. And who are you? I'm this man's lawyer. I'll be defending him today. Lawyer? Yes, and until the judge has given his verdict on the case, no one has the right to treat him as a criminal, so you will hold your tongue. Ooh, I like this guy already. And the audio text sounds may sound a little annoying, but the sound effects are so good in this game, I can't turn them off. Technicalities. Look at you. You haven't even graduated yet. And yet, I still seem to know better than you how a court officer should behave. Right, Ryunosuke? Oh, yes, of course. Sorry. What are you apologizing to me for? Oh, No, I suppose that wasn't my fault. You apologize too much, Ryunosuke. Oh, Kazuma? But really, Kazuma, I never meant to drag you into this. I'm sorry. Ha 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 ha! There you go again, apologizing. Just like always. Oh, I see, we're old friends. This reminds me of the Butts, whatever I have no idea what his name was in the original Japanese, but when something smells, it's usually the Butts. In the first case, Phoenix Wright had to defend his old classmate. Though I must say, you've been all over the newspapers these past few days. Yume University professor. Oh, I am accused of murdering a professor. Murdered in cold blood by student. But obviously, you didn't actually do it, did you? Of course not. You have to believe me. I didn't do it. I could never murder someone. Then there's nothing to worry about. Straighten yourself up. Hold your head high. You mean... I believe you. I know you're innocent, Ryunosuke. Kazuma? Sure, Kazuma Asogi, my best friend, also in his second year at Yume University. One good thing about the 3D models, or at least this 3D model, I love this right here. The headband swaying in the wind. God, that's cool. But he's far more clever than I. A star student, in fact. He's even a qualified lawyer. Impressive, considering he's still an undergraduate. It's not that impressive. The very concept of lawyers is only a few years old. Here in Japan, anyway. My qualifications don't mean much. Yet. You said exactly the same thing 3 days ago. But I'm proud to have a friend like you, Kazuma. Truly. 3 days ago. Yes, that's when all this started. Congratulations, Kazuma. It looks like you're going to get to study abroad at last. I know. I've been forever dreaming of this day. I don't know if that was an intentional vocabulary choice. It makes him sound very old-fashioned and romantic. Finally, those government elites have acknowledged my academic achievements and successes in court. So you'll be representing Japan as you immerse yourself in the most sophisticated legal system in the world. I'm really happy for you, and proud, as your friend. There's not a soul in the university who doesn't know Kazuma's name. Keizuma? He's a living legend. It's like there's some mysterious aura billowing around his temple. Temple? Like this temple, or... eh. I want to bring about change in our own legal system. That's why I have to cross the ocean to see the real thing with my own eyes. Okay, so this game, right, we're currently in Japan. We may visit Great Britain soon. The heart of the British Empire. I wish I could see it too. Then come with me. We'd have a wild time tearing up the streets of Her Majesty's City of London together. If only it were that simple. Oh dear, look at the time. I'd better be going. Alright, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a while longer. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class tomorrow then, partner. Partner, huh? It was straight after that. That's when it happened. Asogi, may I have a word? Oh, I know who she's supposed to be. Professor, I didn't know you were coming. So, there's Maya in the original game, the traditional dress sidekick, and I'm fairly certain that's the traditional dress sidekick that we're going to be having for the rest of the game. Well, this case has personal significance to me. But never mind that for now. Asogi. You should go immediately to the judge's chambers. To His Excellency's chambers? Why? He was looking for you before. You advocating for the defense in this trial was a sudden decision. It seems there may be some confusion about procedures today, as a result. Who is this man? He's got cool hair. Gotta have cool hair. I feel as though I've seen him at university before. I see. I'll go at once then. I shall accompany you. Alright then, Ryunosuke. I'll see you in the courtroom. Yeah, so, okay. 3D models aren't great. I do like how animated the models are, though, compared to the 2D models where everything was very... You switch from... what are they called? Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. Not avatars exactly. Whatever. You switch from like picture to picture, and none of it's very fluid. And I enjoy it, of course, but this is very fluid. It's kind of cool. Not gonna lie. Yes. Thanks, Kazuma. So, this is awkward. He's saying what we're all thinking, or thinking what we're all thinking. If I may. Yes, sorry? You must be the defendant. Ryunosuke Naruhodo, I believe. Yes! Yes, that's right. My name is Yujin Mikotoba. I'm a professor of forensic medicine at Yume University. I'm not sure how far forensics had gone. Well, actually, fingerprinting is forensics, and I think they started to do that in the Victorian era. Possibly. Professor Mikotoba. I've heard that name from Kazuma before. As I recall, he's been pushing to get the government to agree to Kazuma studying abroad. Asogi has told me about you. You and he are best friends, I understand. Is that a surprise? A shock? As such, I feel you should know. Know what? Well, as you've no doubt heard, Asogi has been granted permission to go and study in Great Britain. However, if he should fail to defend you in today's trial, I'm afraid that that permission will be revoked and never granted again. Alright, already the stakes are high. What? Ugh, as I suspected, you were unaware of this. I had a feeling Asogi may have chosen not to tell you. He's agreed to defend me, knowing that if he fails, his dreams will be shattered? But I don't understand. Why would the government do such a thing? Okay, I was lamenting the text speed before, but it's kind of cool how, like, the faster they speak, the faster it goes, and the slower they speak, the slower it goes. I'm already impressed with this game. I'm not gonna lie. Even a lot of the stuff that was an autosave that I initially kind of didn't like is very quickly growing on me. The administration has to choose from a large number of applicants for overseas study. It's very difficult to persuade them to grant permission, even in the most favorable of circumstances. I don't believe it. But I didn't do it. I swear it. I'm not a murderer. I'm sure that's true. Nevertheless, I can assure you that proving your innocence will be no easy task. You see, there are certain peculiarities about today's trial. Oh, I dig the music. Sorry? What do you mean? You'll soon understand once proceedings get underway. But then what should I do? Well, naturally, I'm not going to suggest doing anything that could lead to a conviction. Right? He's saying what we're all thinking. As soon as the trial starts, the judge will pose a certain question to the defense. When that happens, you must answer before anyone else. You must say, I do. I do. But what will the question be? Surely not, do you accept the accusations brought before you? Of course not. Defendant. Court is about to begin. Proceed to the courtroom at once. It would seem our surreptitious discussions are to be cut short. They weren't so surreptitious. We're talking right in front of the guard. So allow me to summarize. Kazuma Asogi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. Oh, I get it. I get it. Alright, we've got to be our own defense lawyer, because otherwise our friend's dreams will be shattered. Of course, as the defendant, the final decision is yours. What are you waiting for? Do you want to be found guilty for failing to appear? Get moving. There's no point in anyone advocating for the likes of you, anyway. This is it. If this trial goes badly, Kazuma's dreams of studying abroad are over, and, what's more, I'll be found guilty of murder. And so, with absolutely no idea of what lay ahead, I embarked on that unforgettable trial. My one and only chance of proving my innocence, the trial that would decide my destiny. Okay. Oh, okay. It's a cool sound effect, I'm not gonna lie, but there's a lot to do here. Look at his eyes, man. I mean, to be fair, he's in a tough spot. Oh god. I don't know why that's killing me. So, this is a courtroom. The Supreme Court of Judicature. No court in the land has more power. Boy, I sure hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, since I'm going to be saying it a million times. I don't much like the look of those people sitting in the public gallery. Lots of military and other uniforms in there. The powers that be have demanded that this be a secret trial? That doesn't sound good. A secret trial? A trial that's closed to ordinary members of the public. Only military and government officials may attend. What? But why? It'll become clear in time. But for now, you need to concentrate, Ryunosuke. It's about to begin. Nice. Oh, this guy! This guy! Yes! The court will now hear the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Okay. Ouchie. I think that's pronounced Ouchie? So this guy is a spitting image of, like, the tutorial prosecutor in the Ace Attorney games. Except way more traditionally Japanese. The prosecution is ready, Your Excellency. As is the defense. Before we begin, there is one point of order I would like to confirm. And this guy looks like a younger version of the judge in the Phoenix Wright games. With a very interesting beard. Again, the 3D modeling is a little strange sometimes. Yesterday evening, the defense made a last-minute request for a change of advocate. That's correct, Your Excellency. I made the request myself. God, his eyes! Normal procedure is for the defendant's advocacy to be decided 2 days prior to trial. As this is an unusual circumstance, I am obliged to ask for final confirmation now. Who advocates for the defendant in this trial? This is it. This must be the question. Who's going to defend me? That's the question the professor meant. But then, if I say I do, I need to answer quickly. What should I do? I assume this is one of those but thou must questions. I will just get like a game over if we select this one. Tempting it though that may sound, I'm going to answer I do. Your Excellency, no confirmation is needed. As I'm standing here beside the defendant, I hope it's clear who will advocate for his defense. What is the meaning of this unruly outburst? I would like to inform the court that I, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, will be defending myself. You'll be... What? What are you playing at, Ryunosuke? Professor Mikotoba told me everything, just now, before the trial. He did what? He said that your dreams of studying abroad would be dashed if you were to lose. How sad. It means you don't have faith in me. You think I won't be able to get you off. Oh, Kazuma, I think you would excel at getting me off, trust me. No, it's not that, really. It's just that, well, on the off chance that things don't go well for me, I couldn't bear to be the reason that you... Yes. I knew that's how you'd feel, which is exactly why I decided not to tell you. Professor Mikotoba shouldn't have stuck his nose in. Very well. The court hereby recognizes the defendant's desire to advocate for himself in today's trial. Well, well. Does the accused admit defeat already? Renouncing his own counsel, really? Cool. Make no mistake, counsel. God, my eyes. This merely shows that the defendant's innocence is so apparent, he's confident he can speak for himself. Isn't that so, Naruhodo-san? Oh! Yes, exactly. Exactly what I wasn't thinking, idiot. I'm not confident at all. Oh no. I remember this sprite. Sprite! That's the word I was looking for earlier. In fact, my mind's a complete blank. I realize you're in charge now, but still. Try not to look so bewildered. Well, for a mere university student to be brought before the Supreme Court. You must have perpetrated a most heinous crime indeed. As you are no doubt aware, this is the Supreme Court of Judicature of Japan. Accordingly, the very highest standards of conduct are expected of all present. Do I make myself clear, Defendant Naruhodo? Yes, Your Excellency. It is therefore my duty to assess your competence for the task you have undertaken. My competence? What does that mean? He's questioning your ability to do the job. Well, he can't be questioning it more than I am, so that's a plus. So let's start with the very simplest of questions. Oh, yes. Simple is good. Kindly state before the court the name of the victim in this case. Well, that's easy enough. I've heard his name more times than I'd care to remember. But... wait. Ugh, I'm so nervous I can't even remember that. What was it again? Ryunosuke. Let me guess. Your mind's gone blank? You know me so well, Kazuma. All the relevant information for this case can be found in the court record. But I can't even find that. It's simple. You can access the court record with the press of E. Don't mind if I do. Or can't. If you ever find that you've forgotten something, just consult that. It's all in there. I just have to press E for the court record? Alright, there's no time to lose. This is the list of evidence you've collected. Now try switching to people instead with E. Okay, so instead of the lawyer's badge, we get proof that I'm a student at the Imperial Yume University. I always wear it on the collar of my uniform jacket. And we've also got... well, we can't look at the other evidence. So we'll switch to people. You'll find details about the victim in here. When you're done, just press Z to go back. Okay. So, a second year at the Imperial Yume University. He's my best friend, and despite being a student, a qualified defense lawyer as well. So, Yujin Mikotoba, a medical school professor at the Imperial Yume University. He's an authority in forensic medicine and Kazuma's mentor. So, your name is... Takatsushi Ouchi, the lead prosecutor of this case, who would appear to have very little love for the changes the Cultural Reformation has brought about. I can tell from his outfit. Alright, so here's the victim. John H. Wilson. Wait, John H. Wilson? I mean, I know that there's a character that's going to have a similar name to Sherlock Holmes coming up, but the victim of this case. He was a visiting professor of medicine at Yume University from the British Empire. So, Oh, right, I'm thinking of John Watson, not John Wilson. Okay, so I've got John Wilson here. Gotcha. Easy. So remember, everything to do with the current case can be found in the court record. Now, you better not keep His Excellency waiting any longer. Go on. Find the victim in the People section of the court record, then press R to present. Try it now. Will do, buddy. Hi! The victim's name was Dr. John H. Wilson. Tja! Well, at least you can remember the name of an esteemed member of your own university. Dr. Wilson was a visiting professor from England, invited to Ume University 3 years ago. Indeed. Which is the reason why this case has such profound implications. Oh, is this going to be a diplomatic incident? The British Empire is, at present, our country's most valuable foreign ally. And as most of you will be aware, we have just signed a new treaty together after lengthy negotiations. There can't be anyone who hasn't heard of the Anglo-Japanese Treaty of Friendship and Navigation, so... pardon me. I think this was a real treaty made after the Russo-Japanese War, because the Russians and the British were rivals. And so it's like, oh hey, you hate the Russians and we kind of hate the Russians, so let's hate the Russians together. And yet, despite these delicate circumstances, the blood of an Englishman has been spilt on our soil. You two are both undergraduates at the Imperial Ume University, are you not? Murdering a professor from the very institution that provides your education. Have you no honor? Ugh, but I didn't do it. This case is coming under great scrutiny from our allies on the other side of the world. The court therefore wishes for a speedy resolution to this matter. Humph. In other words, our feeble government is scared of upsetting England's policymakers. And you're a convenient and expendable scapegoat to blame for this crime. So that's why this trial has these unusual peculiarities, is it? Exactly. Our government needs to convict someone as quickly as possible. All because the victim was an Englishman. I see, I see. Yes, Dr. Wilson was an Englishman. Man, he killed a white guy? They'll get you for that. But nationalities and treaties won't make any difference for me here. The fact is, I was there at the scene of the crime. Oh dear, look at the time. I'd better be going. Alright, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a little longer. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class tomorrow then, partner. The British Empire. Wow, it's incredible to think. Wait. I've seen that man at university. I'm sure he's a visiting professor from Great Britain. I don't know his name, but still, I should go and say hello. So I went over to the professor's table and introduced myself to Dr. Wilson. Now then, let me pose my next question to you, Defendant Naruhodo. Yes, Your Excellency. How did this professor of medicine, Dr. John H. Wilson, lose his life? Gunshot, probably. State before the court the cause of death. The cause of death? Well, obviously that was, Ryunosuke. Remember that in court, every assertion must be backed up by evidence. By evidence? But how? Find the piece of evidence that shows the professor's cause of death, and select present. Touch the cow. Do it now! Okay, post-mortem report. Let's read this. Death occurred a little after 2 p.m. and was caused by loss of blood from a gunshot to the chest. The bullet did not pass through the victim's body. Huh. Okay, a few things to take in mind here. Caused by loss of blood from a gunshot. That's, like, really not instant at all. Alright. Anyway, so we can hit present. Hi! Well. According to this document, the victim suffered a hemorrhagic death due to gunshot trauma. Learn to read, you imbecile. That's the post-mortem report, I take it? Sorry, yes. That's right. The, post-mortem report. In the West, a doctor dissects corpses to identify the cause of death in an autopsy. But here in Japan, a police officer merely inspects the body and draws conclusions that way. Oh, I see. As long as I'm not going to be tested on any of this later. Oh, I think you will, Ryunosuke. This is a so-called photographic print of the scene of the crime. Ooh, I'd like to take a close look at that. You can clearly discern scorch marks around the bullet hole produced by the powder explosion. Okay, so what's going to be relevant here? So the chair was turned around? Was this exactly how he was positioned when he died? Hasn't eaten much of a steak. In other words, we should assume that the victim was shot at close range. Thank you, counsel. The court will accept this modern scientific evidence into the record. The photographic print of the victim has been entered into the court record. Okay. He was shot from the front in the chest and subsequently died. So that's a photographic print. Oh, that's something I've never seen before. It's clearly superior to a drawing. The detail is incredible. Very well. I am satisfied with your answers. Let us start the trial. What is going on here? Certainly, Your Excellency. So, without further ado, in order to better apprise the court with the facts of the case, the prosecution hereby calls its first witness, who was there at the scene of the crime when it happened. Ugh. This is it, then. I think I may have worked out what the professor has in mind. The professor? You mean Dr. Miko Toba? Yes. Clearly you're the defense lawyer today, not me. But that doesn't mean... Well, I can still act as your assistant. Ah, of course. When he was speaking with me before, he simply said, Kazuma Asogi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. I mean, he's been our assistant this entire time anyways. It's obvious. He really has been sticking his oar in, hasn't he? Or? Maybe, but any help you can give me would be greatly appreciated, Kazuma. Well, my first piece of advice is, rein in that crazy look of bewilderment and control the cold sweats. The bewilderment should be easy enough. The cold sweats, I don't know if I can handle. Only if you rein in that crazy headband and control the cold stares first. I don't think that's gonna happen. Plus, the headband is awesome. Witness, state your name and occupation for the court, please. Of course. My name is Satoru Hosonaga. I am the head waiter at a Western-style restaurant called La Carnival. Oh my god. You've got some blood coming out of your mouth. Are you alright? You seem to be coughing up some, It's a regular occurrence. It doesn't really bother me. I don't think that's true at all. Well, it really should. As everyone knows, the capital's southeastern quarter was developed for foreign visitors some years ago. It's become a very fashionable district now, full of hotels to accommodate overseas guests. This grim crime occurred in one of the district's so-called restaurants, an Occidental eatery, 3 days ago. 3 days ago. Okay. Understood. Hosonaga-san, you will kindly tell the court everything you can about the incident. At once, sir. And no petty interjections from the aspiring lawyer boy, please. Oh, perspiring maybe, but aspiring? It was just after 2 p.m. on the day in question. We have few diners at that time of day. The lunchtime rush was over, and there were only 3 tables still occupied. That fits in with my memory of it too. There was hardly anyone in the place. Oh god. It was when I was in the kitchen putting away crockery and cutlery. Ooh. A gunshot rang out, so I hurried out to the dining area to see what had happened. I found the victim, an English gentleman, slumped in his chair. And standing immediately beside him, gun in hand, was the accused university student. Hi! Hold on. Let me just clarify something here. While I did pick up a gun that I found lying on the floor beside the professor, I didn't shoot him. So there. I believe I asked you to refrain from petty interjections. The court wishes to listen to the witness's report of what he saw, you amateur. But the next time you interrupt at an inappropriate time, you will be penalized, defendant Naruhodo. Don't worry, Ryunosuke. You'll have your chance to fight back. At the cross-examination? Yeah. For now, we must just quietly listen to the witness. Ugh. If I may confirm one point, waiter. Standing beside the victim with a gun in his hand was the same man we see here in court today? Yes. Without question. I see. And apart from the accused, was there anyone else standing beside the victim? No. There was no one else around that table but the deceased Englishman and the university student. Huh? Wait, what did he just say? There was no one else around that table? What's the matter, Ryunosuke? That's just not right. When I went over to Dr. Wilson to say hello... Oh, there was a woman sitting opposite him at his table. Really? And that's not something the waiter could have missed. I've been warned about interjecting, but still, what should I do? I'll wait and see. I desperately want to say something, but I was told not to interject. Ryunosuke, if your parents tell you to study, you're the kind of man who would diligently get to work, aren't you? I suppose I am. I'd never have gotten into Yume University otherwise. But you can't just always follow the rules in life, you know. If you don't say what you want to say right now, you'll seriously regret it when you're found guilty. Alright, you scared me. I won't forget that piece of advice in a hurry. I thought we'd get a cross-examination, but I guess we don't. And there is something I want to say. I'm just gonna shut my eyes and say it. Hey! Just a moment, please. So, another but thou must moment. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone that day. I'm sure of it. There was a lady sitting with him at the same table. Dear me, dear me. What are we going to do with you? With your blatant disregard for court proceedings, I'm beginning to wonder if you're not a fraud. Could it be that the accused, this mere student, is not a real lawyer after all? But I'm sure of what I saw. Osanaga-san, is there any chance you're mistaken? Perhaps your memory of events is hazy. No. Alright, he's got the Gendo Ikari glasses going on. The deceased gentleman came to dine alone. I don't believe it. I actually have a rough plan of the restaurant as it was that day. Please, have a look if you'd like to. So, let me see. Ah, a sketch of the establishment's layout, drawn by yourself, I presume. That's right. I'm afraid I used the back of my business card. It was a turbulent situation. However, as you can see, the gentleman in question was seated alone. Well, you're clearly a very conscientious waiter. Thank you, sir. The court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence. Oh, well... Is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once. Of course. Here you are. What was that about? He's been completely calm and collected until now. Oh god. This is rough to watch. Something clearly seems to have shaken him. The waiter's business card has been entered into the court record. So... the court has now heard a precis of the case. Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Yes, at the moment the gunshot was heard in the restaurant. The only person in close proximity to the victim was the defendant on trial today. It would seem we are looking at a black and white case here. Defendant Naruhodo. Yes, Your Excellency. If you admit your guilt at this stage, the court is willing to look mercifully upon you. In other words, you may have some small reprieve in terms of your inevitable punishment. Oh, no, he's still talking. I called this waiter as an unsworn witness in order to explain the details of the case to the court. Unsworn? But I must warn the defense, if you are determined to pursue matters further in this trial, the prosecution has decisive evidence from sworn witnesses who are present at the scene of the crime. What do you think I should do, Kazuma? What do you mean? Well, I'm gonna be found guilty one way or another, it seems. Wouldn't it be sensible to plead guilty at this stage and hope for a more lenient sentence? Everyone keeps telling me that this trial is unusual, about these peculiarities. You've said it, Professor Mikotoba said it, and so has the judge and prosecution. I'm scared of what lies ahead if I push this. As I said from the outset, I believe you're innocent. I trust you. And yet, despite knowing that, you're willing now to throw that trust back in my face? Is that it? What? If the accused is in fact innocent, then a defense lawyer is duty-bound to prove that innocence by whatever means necessary. Are you just going to abandon that duty? Are you going to give up on yourself? The battle hasn't even begun yet, Ryunosuke. Ho ho ho! The defense pleads not guilty, Your Excellency. We invite the prosecution to stop making empty threats and bring out its witnesses. Then we'll see just how decisive this evidence really is. God damn, what a man. Indeed. Prosecutor Ouchie, please continue with proceedings. Well, you were warned. The young can be so reckless. You know, many call me a saint, but I can be a devil when I want to be. In a few short moments from now, that dumbstruck young mouth of yours will be silenced forever. The prosecution calls its next witness. Very well. Officer, bring forth the witnesses at once. Oh God, what am I looking at here? Witnesses, kindly state your names and occupations for the court. Yes, sir. The Great Nippon Imperial Army Sergeant Ayesa Nosa. Ayesa Nosa. Reporting for duty, sir. Myself, I find employ as a purveyor of fine articles of antiquity from the efflorescence of our nation, Nippon, and conduct my trade from Rasute, a humble premises in the 2nd District. Curio Korekuta, at your service. An antique dealer and a soldier. What an unusual pairing. Both of these gentlemen were present at the restaurant on the day in question. They must be the diners at the other table that the waiter mentioned. Myself, I habitually take tea of the most exquisite aroma at the establishment in question, always post-noon. Wait, the guy died at 2 p.m., so that makes sense. And not infrequently converse with interested parties regarding the curios with which I make my business. I can't understand a word that old man is saying. Yeah, because I'm voicing him. He's an antique dealer, and it sounds like he's a regular at La Carnival. He seeks out potential customers who may have an interest in antiques and tries to sell his wares to them. He obviously targets La Carnival because it's a high-class restaurant with rich clientele. Right, I see. Although, to be honest, that sergeant looks more like he'd be a seller rather than a buyer. Now, you both witnessed the precise moment of this most atrocious incident. Is that correct? Affirmative. The enemy unit was seen attacking the foreigner in what can only be described as an act of war, sir. It was that black uniformed rogue infantryman over there who unloaded his firearm, sir. This man's as impossible to understand as the other. But I'm almost sure I heard a strange noise during that last thing he said. Strange noise? I didn't hear anything. So, this is the decisive evidence the prosecution was threatening. The soldier is claiming that he actually saw at the precise moment you shot the victim dead. Yes. Well, are you starting to feel uncomfortable? If I'm honest, I was feeling uncomfortable from the start. Now, the court will hear your formal testimony, please. You will state everything you saw at the precise moment that the incident occurred. Sir! Yes, sir! Standing by, ready to report, sir! Unsavory memories of a most acerbic afternoon. What the witnesses saw. Alright. Well, we're gonna go to options and save. Yeah. Save our game. Right here. Select the slot. Oh, that's not a slot. This is a slot. We will save in the slot, save, and save complete. Alright, so apparently I'm going to be doing a full voice acting of this game, which means I need to take a breath, yes, and a break, rest my voice, come back, and continue recording the next episode after that break. So, hope people don't mind my voice acting. I'm having a lot of fun, but again, I really do not want to completely strain my voice. Not yet. So, we're going to take a break, and after a quick breather, we're going to come back and prove our innocence. Thank you so much for joining me in this case, in this new playthrough as well. I'm World Undone, and I will see you in the next episode. Take care.